Hello again. It is Annie Oakley here, hanging out with you a little bit. This video is just for entertainment and to hang out with my friends. No financial advice, just hanging out, talking a little bit of sound money. It is Friday, October 3rd at 11 o'clock at night. So if I get a little squirrely, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a little tired, but no excuse to not do a good job. So the dollar is falling. We're all aware. And in the meantime, people are going all different directions. You know, they don't want to lose everything they've got. Some are investing in precious metals. A very small amount of people. If you believe Rick Rule, he says that less than 0.5% of the American people are invested in any precious metals. So that's not very much. I don't know what the percentage is that are invested in cryptos either. Probably way too many. But anyway, a little fun fact here. Silver year to date is up 60.4%. Let me say that again. 60.4%. Gold year to date is up 46.6%. Now, I could be off. That's the research that I gleaned from the internet. Hopefully I'm giving you some good info. Anyway, some people, there are some people that are continuing to wake up every day. I found it very interesting when the young billionaire tech guru, David Bateman, invested $1 billion. He got 12.69 million ounces. He took delivery, and he himself says the dollar's falling, the bubble's getting ready to burst, and he wants to be protected. Well, I wish I had $1 billion to invest, but I don't. So I'm doing a few ounces at a time. Can you imagine storing that? You'd have to have an armed guard. Okay, now, in July, I had a job to do in the neighboring town, and I had a break, so I took this phone call. It was from my senator, and I'm on their newsletter list and all that, so I wasn't really surprised. So I answer the phone, and they're like, Senator's doing a table talk, and he wants your opinion, so please stay on the line and you can ask him a question. So it was really good. A lot of local farmers got to ask him, I got a letter from the local elevator, and they said they weren't taking my sorghum this year. What should I do? Another guy calls up, and he's talking about him and his son being in business together, and, he was worried about capital gains taxes, just all kinds of things. There was really good questions, and you just had to wait your turn. Well, finally a lady gets on the line, and she goes, hello? And she asked me to identify myself, and I did. And she goes, well, she was just vetting callers. And she goes, well, what would you like to talk to this senator about? And I go, well, I'd like to talk to this senator about the Genius Act and stablecoin. Well, there's this long pause. And she goes, okay, he'll be with you in a little bit. So 30 minutes later, the senator wraps up the call thing. And he didn't take my call. I believe I was the only one that was blown off. And that's fine. That just said something to me right there. It said, to me, it says, none of them knew the answers to anybody's questions, and they were very unsure about it, as they should be. They still should be. But anyway, back to David Bateman. A couple quick little notes. His investment of $1 billion on his 12.69 million ounces of silver is up 20% since he bought it. I mean, that's pretty darn impressive, in my opinion. Okay. When the markets closed tonight, the silver closed at 47.97. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay, I listened to a couple of videos today, and they were talking about how people used to do this 60-40 investment for their portfolios, and, you know, bonds and stocks, whatever it was. Well, they're saying now that they're kind of encouraging their clients to go 25, 25, 25, 25. 25 stocks, 25 bonds, 25 short treasury bills, and 25% in gold. Huh. I wonder why. And according to Bank of America's Michael Harnett, he said that this strategy is up 16%. So it means some people are waking up, which is a good thing. But it's also a good thing if we all keep stacking to the best of our abilities before it gets unobtainium for all of us. Because, you know, I consider myself a minnow out in the big sea. Then when David Bateman, the whale, swims by, you know, I just want to get away from him. I just want to do my thing. But for every ounce of silver that I have, I am so thankful. And I don't have like a gazillion ounces. I've got a little bit. We've all been hearing about Jeffrey Gundlach, and I think this guy is a trader for BlackRock, which I mentioned earlier, the whole BlackRock thing in my earlier video. Anyway, he's telling people to add gold to their portfolios. And I don't know if it's all paper, gold and silver. It probably is, so they can just shuffle, you know, some more paper around. Here's a check, you know, for your undelivered silver that you bought. I can't believe people do that, but whatever. My point on this is when these big investors move in, we need to be paying attention. Because if they're doing it, unlike the central banks are doing it, we need to do it. But we need to be smart, and we need to be careful. You know, definitely got to keep some dry powder around to survive on. I mean, I have to remind myself of that frequently. And I'm sorry if I sound kind of, I don't know. But I've got a cold and I've got some sinus issues going on. So I apologize. Let's see. another point is, were you ever taught in school anything about silver and gold as money? And why aren't they teaching kids now about silver and gold? Because really, it's the only real money we have. You know, the dollar, it's monopoly money backed by nothing. And that's kind of scary. And, you know, I think one of these days China's going to get sick of it and dump all of those, whatever they are, T-bills back on us and say goodbye. I mean, I personally feel like the bubble's going to, pop very soon. Let's see. Michael Oliver, in one of his video clips, he's been quoted as saying he could see silver up $100 to $200 by the first quarter of next year. And honestly, I can too. I really thought silver was going to hit 50 before the end of September. I was close, but I missed it a little bit. And Michael Oliver, while he's saying he expects to see some pretty good numbers by the first quarter of next year, he said don't freak out when there's pullbacks, because that's normal and it's going to happen, And I'm saying have strong hands all the way. And it's all bullish and it's speculative. But keep in mind, if China comes over and dumps the treasuries, that's probably going to be an ugly day. Sure, I got to let my dog out. I'm sorry. Real quick. Come here, Fred. Go on. Sorry about that. No, I think it's so important that, I just wish everybody would start buying silver, gold, or copper pennies, or collect them. I really didn't expect much out of copper, but I'm starting to wonder if that's going to change quite a bit. Nobody knows. I guess time will tell. Like I said, I'm very thankful for every one of these that I've got. I've had these since 2014. Let's see. I'll show you. This is the first time some of these have ever been out. These are half ounces. Whoops. I don't know if you'll see that. Very good. There we go. Yeah, these are pretty cool. These are the Space Force rounds. Well, actually, it says $2 on them in 2014. And I think these are, well, they've got the Queen on them, but That is not focusing in too whippy. I apologize. I don't want to get them all mixed up. But, yeah. I love stacking. You know, people say, how much should I stack? I don't know. I just say stack as much as you can. You know, don't get yourself in trouble. Because you've got to have money to pay your bills and live on. So, that's something to think about. I got this a while back. This is I've got a 1/10 ounce Libertad that I won. And then, I think these are beautiful. I love them. Well, I don't love them, but I like them a lot. This is the same thing. I don't know why I put those in those capsules. And this is a very tarnished Walker. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see her since she's in this capsule. Sorry. Then I got this thing out because it was packed up with those others. This is the Year of the Ox. It's a rotating charm, 1 ounce silver antique coin. I got it in 2021 because I thought it was cool. I don't know why I did, but I did. It's number 1890 out of 3,000. And I don't know. They probably didn't sell a bunch of them. But it's kind of cool. And it rotates. To me, it looks more like a pig than an ox, but that's what it's supposed to be. So yeah, that's what I got out tonight for you. Do you do half ounces? Do you just do full ounces? I mean, if you stack 90, you do half ounces, you know? You do 10th ounces and quarter ounces. I really like 90% a lot. My favorites are the Benjamins. I love Benjamin. I need some more dimes, but I suppose all in good time. Yeah. The good news here is I still have plenty of Bitcoin, and I've lowered the price. Just kidding. But speaking of Bitcoin, I would highly recommend watching the Liberty and Finance video that came out this evening. It was freaking fantastic. Philip Lowe was the guest. I'd never seen him before, but he spoke my heart about cryptocurrency 100%. And I've never heard one of those guys come out and say what he said. And I was out there playing with my dog, and I'm just out there yelling, right on. I mean, he straight up said it's a Ponzi scheme. And some people are going to lose a lot of money if they don't get out. And because the interviewer, that Kaiser guy, he was saying, well, what about the crypto people? And, he said they better get out. I mean, who knows? That's one guy's opinion. And it's my opinion, too. But I guess time will tell. And he also said some pretty unfavorable things about stablecoin. And I am so not pleased about the whole crypto business. Because what that man says in that video is what I said the other day. And I want to be kind of careful what I do say so I don't get my videos taken down before I really get started. But it's all about, ultimately, is control. If you're not a good boy and you're not a good girl, we can push a button and make your life miserable. And I don't want my money to be allotted to me, and I don't want to be treated like a little kid with my money. I mean, cash, you can put a wad of $100 bills in your pocket, and nobody knows how much money you have, and nobody should know how much money you have. It's your business. And I mean, the dollar was a Ponzi scheme all by itself, and when they introduced it to the people back in the day, and when they started taking the silver out of our money, people just took it. They trusted the government. And I'm not so sure everybody's going to continue to trust the government like this. It's going to be interesting. Yes, time will tell. But I think I probably ought to clean my coins up. I've got to go out and bury them again tomorrow. I keep them pretty well buried in various places. On my farm, I've got lots of places to bury them. But that brings me to another interesting point that I'll leave you with this thought. Do you remember a few months ago when the news came out and was saying that the Giza pyramids, they knew that they were 6 stories underground? Did you hear about that? Well, they said that they used the LiDAR, and they could see. I'm sorry I sound kind of shaky, but I'm kind of cold. I apologize. Anyway, it got me to thinking, if that's true, if they used LiDAR to see under the Giza pyramids, then when I'm out burying different stacks, I wonder if the overlords know where stuff is. Kind of makes me wonder. So, I'm going to probably start wrapping them up in aluminum foil. I don't know whether it'll work, but I know aluminum foil, the heavy-duty kind, can create some issues with the electronics. So, anyway, you all, thank you so much for listening to me and sharing this time with me. I really appreciate it. If you'd like my video, please share it. Please subscribe, and please come back. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Till next time.